What is up? What a game. Wow. That one was freaking crazy. Everything going wrong for Iowa State, and really didn't play well until the end, last 10 minutes or so. But we have a lot to digest here with that basketball league. Let's get after it. My name is Chris Williams. I'm here at Carver Hawkeye Arena, and we are presented by our friends at Channel Seed. And just a little speechless. I got a lot to get after, a lot to cover, but I got to thank our great sponsors while all these people are coming into the program. First of all, I want to thank my friends, the Natuzel family over at Raymond James. If you are needing a financial advisor for 2025, get your finances in check. I want to tell you about Clay and Chase. You can find these great Cyclone fans. I would go online and just Google their last name, Netusil, the Natuzels with Raymond James. Great financial advisors, huge Cyclone fans and supporters of what we're doing at Cyclone Fanatic. Also, our friends at Keen Project Solutions. Great people, make a great company. Think different, thinkkeen.com. All right, let's get after it. Iowa State, my first of all, we'll go big picture here. Just a mentally tough game for a team that really didn't play its best, right? Like that was a game that, Iowa State I won't say they didn't deserve to win, because they came back and they won the game, so of course they deserved it. But that was not Iowa State's best basketball. For the first 30 minutes, really didn't defend well. I'm guessing not a lot of guys will grade out well on the defensive end, but they stuck with it. Really just a deal where, first of all, I got to tip my hat to Tamin Lipsey, right? Didn't play well at all in the first half. He's really struggled this year. And one could say that Tamin went out and won him the game in the second half. He goes 3 of 3 to start things off in the second half from three-point range, which was incredible. Ends up with 6 assists, played really good defense, 3 steals. I thought he was a really, really impressive piece tonight. I also, Josh Jefferson had 19 points. I didn't even realize that, to be honest with you. I'm looking at the box score here for the first time. Curtis Jones, the big 3 that he hit, I think is what put Iowa State up by 5. That's a shot that will live on for a long time. But, we'll start with the bunch of crowd chanting TJ here. Sorry. Cool moment right there. Sorry, I'm looking at the box score here. 52-36 is what Iowa State outscored Iowa in the second half. 52-36. That's incredible. I'm looking at the second half box right now. What did Iowa State leave Iowa to? 32% shooting in the second half. So, again, it didn't look like it at the beginning of that second half, but he was clearly challenging that team to ratchet up its defensive intensity, specifically on the perimeter in the second half, and they did so. Again, it took a little bit to settle in, I thought. And it helps when you hit your threes, too. I think Iowa State was 1 of 10 from 3 in the first half. They go 8 of 15 from 3 in the second half. I think that this was a really important win, not so much that you won it, but the way Iowa State won it, right? Like, it feels like this is one that you can continue to build on. Because I think if we all watch the first 30 minutes, you're probably not deserving of that win, and somehow you figure it out against, I think Iowa's an NCAA tournament team. I've been saying this for a while. I thought Josh Dix was really good tonight. What did he end up with? 5 of 14, cooled off a little bit towards the end. Sanford was really good early, kind of cooled off. Iowa had some guys, too, tonight that stepped up. 13 went out there and goes 3 of 3 from 3. I think he was like a 30% three-point shooter going into the basketball game. So they had dudes who probably, you weren't too worried about on the scouting report, and they made you pay a few times. Freeman popped out and hit a 3 early in that. That is that's high level basketball. And Iowa hit the shots to make you pay. Could we talk a little bit about Nate Heise as well? I turned to the guy sitting next to me. Heise almost had a double-double tonight, believe it or not, with 10 and 6 in 25 minutes. But I said, is he becoming one of Iowa State's most consistent players? Not just on the defensive end, which we saw him do against Marquette. But he also, he comes in and had an incredible moment on offense tonight. Hit that 3 in transition, and he's just a guy who you feel like he's going to be in the right spot, right? He's in the right spot. He just does the little things well. Jefferson, too, again, I'm looking at this box score for the first time. That's why we do this the way we do it. He almost had a triple-double. I didn't even realize that. He had 7 assists tonight. Joshua Jefferson did. So really, really good game by him. And Iowa State now in a situation where you get a quad 1 win tonight. That will count as a quad 1 for now. We'll see where Iowa ends up, but I would guess that will maintain to be a quad 1 win because I think that Iowa's going to hang around in that area of the Big Ten. A lot of love for Heise in the comments here as I'm looking at him for the first time. But again, it just never really felt like a game. The thing didn't turn until really late either, right? Like there was only the 1 lead change, and then Iowa State just kind of ran away with it from there. You felt like if they could just break the seal, that Iowa State could stretch its legs a little bit, and then the defensive flow started going. Iowa didn't really have much of an answer once Iowa State's intensity picked up, and the rest was history. But that's a really good program type win. It won't be Iowa State's best win of the season. At least I certainly hope not, right? Like there's going to be bigger ones. But I think, again, when you consider that Iowa State is on the road, again, this would be like where would Iowa be as far as they're 45 in KenPom right now, okay? So that would be basically like going and winning at West Virginia. That would be like going and winning it's better than Kansas State. That would be like winning at BYU right now is how that would be. So, like, if you put it into that context, that's a great win tonight, especially when you felt like, an Iowa fan, I'm sure, doesn't feel like they played an A game. But I thought that Iowa scouted really well. They, Keyshawn was like 1 of 5 to start, and you knew that he had to get things turned around. I thought Iowa was really good offensively early as far as moving the basketball, and they were really making Iowa State work for everything defensively. The perimeter rotations were slow, I thought, for Iowa State early on, but you fought through it. And if you played a C game tonight, and again, they probably didn't have an A, let's say Iowa was a B+, and you still end up with somehow with a 9-point win. That's good stuff right there for the Cyclones. Again, Iowa State outscored Iowa 52-36 in the second half. That's an incredible number to put up 52 per 1. But then I would love to know, too, if I could break this down even more, like the trends at the end of that game. The trends, because, Iowa couldn't have scored much at all, I would say, in the last 5 minutes, last 6 minutes of that game. It was really a pounding from then on out. So good stuff tonight. The thing I love, too, the most about Iowa State, it's like you look at a guy like Momcilovic tonight, again, 5, played 20 minutes. But the thing when you look at this roster is the amount of options Iowa State has when it comes to matchups. Like a guy like Jackson had 12 tonight, 6 of 8. He only played 18 minutes. Iowa State really kind of went on a run there when it started to go small. And you had that ability because you could throw Heise in there in that spot, and you could, really start to push things. And just there's just a lot of versatility with this lineup that we haven't seen with Iowa State in the past. In the past, it was like Bloom and I talked about the other day. It's like, is Jaron Holmes on? Is Is Kalsher going to have one of those games where he hits 6 threes, or is he going to go 1 of 14? Even last year, right? You kind of were who you were, especially in the paint. It's like Jones did things really well, and Hassan Ward came on at the end of the year, and it was great, and you knew what you were going to get. But you have now when you have a big like Jefferson, who can also dish out 7 assists while scoring 19 and 10, and then you can, okay, we're going to put Jackson down and we're going to throw Heise in there and go small, and they just have a lot of options, and that's what they did to Iowa tonight. I think they out-optioned the Hawkeyes as this game came to an end. Gotta love that. Really, really good stuff tonight for Iowa State, and it didn't have to be. This could have been a disastrous night. This could have been, and ends up being a pretty positive one. So, thankful for that. Iowa State wins it 89-80. We appreciate our friends at Channel Seed for sponsoring all of these shows all season long, the men and the women's. We are looking forward to that each and every game the rest of the way. Pretty much, we don't do the non-conference games that, Iowa State's a 40-point favorite in, but once the Big 12 hits, we're locked in the rest of the way. Looking forward to the rest of the season with you guys, and I hope everybody, if you're listening, get home safely. Looking forward to we'll do a special Two Guys reaction show tomorrow morning on Iowa Everywhere if you want to listen to that. Connor and Rob are in the locker room right now. We'll have full coverage the rest of the way here on Cyclone Fanatic.